Welcome, Christina. Good to see you in the chat. Let's wait for some more people to join. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Matt. Welcome, Trade, Waya, BC, and Slaten as well. Let's wait for some more people to join, but we have some super interesting price action. Basically, me following the idea since yesterday's stream. I don't want to sound like those other guys, but it follows it pretty accurately. Like really accurately. We just swept the daily low, which had big warning signs, into local demand here. So this could potentially be tap 2. But we also just came out a 1, 2, 3 model 1. So yeah, bit in the middle of nowhere. Welcome, Kijo's dead as well. I really need to start learning you guys. Like Slatan, you are on Discord. Let me see. I always forget names. Like Slatan, you are a B. I don't know why I never see that name with it. And Kijo's dead. What's your name on Discord? That makes it a lot easier because I know you guys are one of the active ones, but I have no idea which. Welcome, Rice. Kijo's is Kijo. Ah, perfect. That's not weird. Yeah, BM. Yeah, exactly. Good to know. Okay. Let's just get Kijo is my cat. Okay, let's go into the price action. Well, I'm not gonna go too far because we do streams every day, so most of you are here every day. We had the breakdown, then we had this little consolidation below the value area high of the main range, and then yesterday we broke down where we had this local price action, and then during the stream we had this push up. And then I said, like, to me this didn't look like a good range to watch it from a 2-tap perspective. So I was waiting for the low to be taken out, and that's where I eventually took the long as well. The funny thing is that I took it based on like trapped shorts and trapped longs. Like right now, we see shorts aping in as well, but also some spot selling. That's interesting. But like yesterday, let's see, what was it? Yeah, yesterday this was the tap 1, this was tap 2, this was during New York. So there we had some longs aping in. And I was waiting for those longs to puke and for shorts to enter. So here we see that shorts enter at the market and also some volume bubble, like big selling volume candle. And that means that they are underwater. So you can see it with this data. This is pretty complicated, but that's why I use the factor candles as well, because it basically shows like green or blue shows aggressive buying. So here we have tap 2 with aggressive buying, so long stepping in. But a tap 2, especially if this is your start of the range, that's not enough to reverse. So that's why I was thinking, like, we can make a third tap, take out these longs, then tap a new low, grab liquidity, And here you see that a red candle directly followed by a green candle. So trapped short in combination with 1, 2, 3 tap, value area low, reclaim right here. And it was like an internal breaker structure. It was not the highest probability setup because in my opinion, for a range, it's still like pretty bouncy. But that's like the difference between a super clean Model 1, which is more of a range, and a tree drive. This is more like a tree drive, which is a little bit more vertical. But we have the breaker structure right here. This was a good low based on timing also in New York. So I took the long right here, stop there, target there for like 2.5 R, which played out nicely. And then yesterday during the stream, I also mentioned that this was the key zone to watch. And that here I would basically expect like a bounce, then likely rejection from this zone because there was a lot of confluence. And then that this could potentially be our range low. This be our range high of our new local range. And that from there we can see like the range be formed. Because oftentimes, typical for Bitcoin is to get the grind up, deviate, aggressive move down, and then get sideways price action. And then play it from there, longs there, shorts there. So I think there's a pretty big chance that this is our range low, this is our range high, and that we will chop in between them. And yeah, looking for longs if we take out the low, and for shorts if we take out the high. But the high was also like the exact high. That's why the those range breakdowns and then retest, look at where price came back for. The range POC, literally it wicked it and then it broke down. So I played this long. I could have played this short, but it was lacking structure. So that was the reason why I did not short it. Because like on the 10-minute, we only had a strong move into it. So technically on the 10, we did not have any structure to step into it. Otherwise I would have shorted it because this invalidation was pretty clean. But we had 5-minute structure, which broke to bearish here. But also the moment that was confirmed, like personally, I don't like to enter here, stop there, and then target is here, which is like a 1R. It can work, but for me, it's just not worth it. So that was why I was waiting for either for price to come back into this zone and then look for structure confirmation like this to enter shorts, or watch for potentially the uptrend, like high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, for price to come back here and then push higher. But right now we also broke this to bearish, so we are just in a range and not really seeing any setup. So once again, the analysis was spot on, but that does not always mean that you also get the trade and can make money from it. Just like the expectation of this third drive was also right, but I also did not take a short there. But like yesterday made 4R, so it's just waiting for the clean triggers and important to not do anything stupid in the meantime. Then what we right now have, we had a daily low formed at 0, so at like the first minute of the trading day, and it also had barely a wick, so with like 95% probability to take it out based on time and distance, and we just took it out right here. So right now our daily high is this one, which is during London, so that's pretty weird time. And the current low is this low, which is during New York, which is a better pivot or better low to put in. Do I expect this high to be taken out? Not specifically, but we can look at the stats in a minute to see what the stats are saying. But we see that London high, and we know how bad or how it does not often happen that we have a daily pivot during London. And New York is during hour 14, which is a good pivot. So based on that, you could say there's a possibility that maybe we can form a kind of a 3-tap here, 1, 2, 3, and then target this local liquidity into that high. But yeah, we just came out of a 3-drive bearish setup, and we retested this key supply and rejected from it. So this could also just roll over and go back to previous daily low. But for that, I don't really see a setup. And there is a big chance that it rolls over, basically, because if we look at the confluence, let me show you another chart. Basically, if we look at how price behaved last distribution range, which was super similar, then like, let me clean this up. And price also made like 1, 2, 3 deviation above the range. Right here, deviation above the range, then an aggressive move lower. Also here, like sketchy high, and then just a roll over. Purely like exact the same as right now, not giving a good shorting opportunity for me. And then price accepted below the value area high and consolidated below it and could not reclaim it, and then it sold off. Right now, price is also below the value area high. Just retested it this morning. And if we follow the fractal, then this can just roll over from here. Let me show you the example. Right here. 1, 2, third move. High. Then just sketchy local price action, aggressive move down. And then price started to consolidate near the value area high. Right here. Then sold off. And never came back. So from there it was just basically a slow bleed lower with aggressive moves in the meantime. So if you follow that fractal, then this could already be the high and it just rolls over. So be careful with longs. Only way I'm interested in longs is if like we have, I'm not sure if we have something of demand in this zone, doesn't look like it. Then maybe no. 5 also not. There is some demand right here, but it's not significant. So I think if we go there, that we will take that lower demand. But the only way I would be interested in longs is if we hold more or less this low, get like a move up, come back, get like a 3-tap setup. That this is 1, 2, 3, liquidity right there. Then I will look for longs. Otherwise, only interested if we take out the previous daily low right there and then start moving up. Yeah, a bit unfortunate that this 3-drive did not give a short. I really hoped to get into a short there, because it literally did what I hoped to do, but they trapped me with this aggressive move up. So that was a good job from them. Let me watch the chat. Yo, DM group, just me get hello guys. Welcome for everyone in the chat, by the way. Solon, good to see you as well. Been a while. I hope you are doing well. Slatan, regarding yesterday's BTC loan, why was internal structure good here? You usually wait for the main structure, right? No, not always. Internal structure is also, it depends like a lot on how we move down. Like here, it was a bit sketchy. Push of down, up, down, break. But here you have like tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. So at this point, I know that if we gonna play out, this invalidation is super clean. So if the invalidation is so clean, and we also had some demand here protecting that level, then if I have enough confluences, like for example the volume profile, where we were above the POC and the value area low, then at this point, I know like if we're gonna bounce, or at least go for like the 3 drive, then this low is super, super clean. Like it should not take that low, otherwise it's just a field setup. But in those cases, then I wait, for me, internal is enough. And quite often I use internal, because otherwise I should have waited for this high to be broken. And that's obviously way too high up. It really depends on what the context around it is. Yo, Brennan, good to see you as well. Can you check Sui? Can we short Sui? Let me check it in a minute. Thanks, still alive. Had to focus on some other stuff. Back to training now. Looking forward to join the group more often again. Yes. I hope everything is going fine. I know you have some in real life difficulties before, so I hope it's going well right now. And love to see you back in here. Quite a lot of people are slowly but surely getting back from the old group, so great to see you again. Okay, let me first check some other alts, and I'm going in Sui because Sui is not one of my pairs. Quickly, if we look from this low to that high, then POC is above. Okay, so there's really not any good POI. It could also be that we just range. Like there's a big chance that for the weekend, this is now our new range with range low, range low, range high. And that we just see chop in between these levels. So then you could just say alert here, and enjoy your weekend. USDT SFP this higher time frame. Like here we had kind of a 3 drive, 1, 2, 3. Below the range low, break back in range. And the more internal bearish structure is this pool. So low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And for now we SFP'd that. So that's always interesting, because if you SFP an important market structure low, that could be a signal that you go back to your market structure low that brought you there, if you break internal structure. But for now, the structure remains bullish, where we tapped into this, what is it, 1 hour OBIM and bounced from it. So then here we can also draw a new range. This is mitigated. Here we have some wick demand, but we can see this as a new local range. Range high right there and range low right here. And then that's really similar to what BTC is, that this is the range low, that the range high. So alert at the high as well there. And then do we have some local levels? We have wick supply on the 30, but it's probably 50-minute, 50-minute supply zone. This was mitigated right there. And right now it's in the middle of the range, so that's usually not the place where I want to do anything. So then just waiting for supply to be hit. And yeah, not much to do. Just waiting, but some pretty clean levels to work with, because we have that high time frame downward structure in the range, which we SFP'd. And from the low up, we have this pretty clean upward structure with high, higher low. Basically here, high, higher low. And then this is the main pool. So this could also just take out the high and then maybe from here distribute. But that's all to be seen. For now, it looks pretty strong. It's a big chance that this is breaking lower locally. Then let's watch it ETH. ETH. Yeah, so as mentioned yesterday as well, BTC of ETH bounced from that important demand, holding or defending the range value area high, which is the key level. BTC already lost it, but ETH is still holding above it. But like from the high up, if you look at structure, you have low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So internal bearish structure is also still intact. And then we have VWAP, where price is holding on right now, and one resting lower. But this is a bit of, like for me, if it's clean, then it's clean, and then I want to take a trade. But for me, this is not clean, not yet. So maybe we form a range low, range high, consolidate there for a while, and then it becomes clean. But for now, it looks like this is a key zone to hold. Below it, we have nothing but sell side liquidity. But yeah, it's not like this pure chop. So maybe we can just look at it from range low, range high, wait for either one of them to be taken. If you accumulate at the lows, look for longs, because this is absolute key level to hold. You don't want to lose the demand. And here we have the internal bearish structure. So if you take out the high, but SFP it, don't close above it, you can look for shorts. Just playing the local range. Sol is the same. Like, was looking for that rejection from the POC, which was during the night. We had it here. Then it came back for the range low, push up. Right now, yeah, this is just a range. And a lot of chop. So then it's often better to zoom out. And then, is this still the range I wanted to watch? No, it's looking a bit weird. So also here, just waiting for better range to form. Maybe this be the range low, this the range high, and then play that. But right now it's a bit choppy. Then hype was broke important structure back to bearish. And then I said, like yesterday, we are basically between supply right here and demand, range demand right here. And I want to see like a range and then play it from there. And that is what we have. So we have range low, range high. Then here we had tap 2, front running that VWAP and supply. And now we are coming back to the VWAP. So the range is not telling too much, but we can look for, like if we take this low, come back up, then slowly tap into demand, then you can potentially look for a long back into supply. And that supply is where I'm interested in shorts again. So just playing this local range. But also here often, here we had sideways, acceleration, now down. So it could be that price is just gonna suppress between these VWAPs as well. And then see like maybe fake move to the upside and then down, or fake move to the downside and then up. So just patience on hype. Then cow. Crazy move. We broke down from this range right here. Then we retested the range POC, sold off, came into this demand, and there it just made new highs. This is a move of, what is it? Almost 30% pump. It's crazy. But yeah, for me too aggressive, so I don't trade this. But yeah, this looks like a bull market coin. Let's quickly look what we have on the lower time frame. Like we had, again, early longs getting wiped. Shorts closing out. Spot is selling. And delta is more negative. But what do we have? Quite a lot of action, but I don't know. Like early in the week, I mentioned how we had this point of control, this point of control, and this point of control. So often they act as magnets. So I said like there is a reason for price to come back, take out those levels, and then potentially go up. Right now, if you look below what we took this poor low, and now we are kind of ranging here. But below here we have nothing. So that's why the low from yesterday, like there is not much reason from a liquidity perspective to take out that low again. Because if you, like you can SFP it as always, but if you lose that level, then you basically have nothing until 65, 64. Which if we translate it to the chart, it's like either you hold here, which is also your 7-2, and take out that local range low, or you go to 65, is basically here. Which is interesting because my gut feeling is still saying that it's too easy to see an exact replica of the last bearish expansion where it just moves down. What if we maintain like high, higher low? This is our swing, higher low, higher high, range here, chop people up, and then continue higher. I don't know. Technicals tell me that we go lower, but my gut feeling is telling me that it's too easy. Everyone is saying that it's going. Everyone is saying that everyone is bullish, but in my opinion, everyone is bearish. We took out a lot of sell side liquidity with a 3 drive down, 3 drive up. Do I want to long here? Not really, but this is a zone where I'm super interested in longs. If we pull the fib, oh, I think I already did that. Fib, yeah. This is our 0.72. So if we look from swing low to swing high, then this retracement is the 7-2, which Bitcoin often likes to bounce from. Interesting. And let's look at, if we clean up all this, look at the heat map. Because we had quite a lot of liquidity resting here, but a lot has been taken with that move yesterday already. And this shows a pretty similar picture as what I showed with the TPO chart, that below yesterday's low, like there is some liquidity, but probably if you lose that, then the next big liquidity cluster is at 64.5-ish. To the upside, I don't know. I'm leaning somehow to higher. We have some buying right now. Let's see. We don't have 5-minute structure. We don't have 3. We have 2. So we have high, low, lower high, lower low. Basically here, trying to break bullish. We have some demand being created. This could potentially be our tap 2. What is the range? Pretty good volume profile. Let's zoom in. I'm just thinking out loud if I want to play this local range again. We took the range low. What happened here? 122 million buy. Damn, it's a lot of buying. Big longs coming in as well. Okay, some action. Interesting. Let's first look at what stocks are doing, because we had S&P tapping into that demand below the range. So this is potentially breaking down, but it can also be the third tap. So then this is tapped. We have downward structure low, lower high, lower low. So this is our internal bearish structure, where we have supply protecting it. So gonna move my alert there to see if price manages to break basically this. Yeah, then I would look at this internal structure, like break that back to bullish, and you potentially have your 1, 2, 3. And I would not expect a full reversal because we have a lot of supply. You could at least make a move back into there, which can also give some relief for crypto. Zoom in a bit. If we ignore this range and look what we locally have, could say you have your range right here as well. Tab 1, tab 2. Could it be tab 3? It's not the best. Yeah, it's looking pretty heavy, but if it's gonna bounce, it's from here. Let's look at the stats. We have New York P1 right on 12, hour 14, and we have daily high at hour 8, daily low at hour 14. If anyone has questions, let me know, because I'm just thinking out loud for potential trade. But session. 29% of the sessions took out the session high. 20% of the sessions took out the session high. 95% of the sessions form a new P2. 87. So based on that, the session high is pretty strong. And the session low is weak. Okay. And the daily, 9% or 10% took out the daily high. 40% took out the daily high. 85% from a new P2. 78. Yeah, not saying too much. We have nice local. Let's dive into the low time frame. We have high, lower, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Technically, we have to use this high. So 1 minute boss doesn't tell much. We have 1 minute demand protecting the range low. This is potentially tap 2. We have supply right here, price just rejected from, or seems to be rejecting from. Break above here and supply failed. And then you have a higher chance to look at a model 2. Now we have just 2 minutes as well. 2 minutes, and yeah, it's like a really low time frame. But my gut feeling is higher. However, you always have to be careful trusting your gut, or at least you should trust it, but also not be led by it. So the local high, if you look at the high, the view from the high, that's aligning with this local supply and the local boss. Like at these points, when I think, should I enter or not? Then I zoom out and ask myself, is it super obvious? Then right now it's not super obvious, because we have basically tap 1, tap 2. When is it obvious? If we get some consolidation here, maybe tap into that demand, then break structure like this, then I would enter and say, like with tap 1, with tap 2, with tap 3. Often when I'm front running my tap 3, then I'm too long in a unclear trade. And also here, this move from here, like timing and distance wise, you rarely see this happen. Often this is just giving it some more time and then get some action, which especially on Fridays is where the action is later in the, towards the end of the New York session. So that can still take like maybe till here. So just gonna be patient, but setting alert a little bit there and below this low. What is ETH doing, for example? Looks to be mitigating this demand that was front run with that earlier move right here, but nothing playable. Tau was nothing playable at all. Sol is just ranging. So it's all mainly ranging. This one can be left. It's the volume profile from here till here. Yeah. For the time being, not a trade, but I am interested in a potential long later today. for either model 2, if we tap this demand, get that slow move back where we can extend this return to zone. If we then break internal structure to bullish, then I would target new highs, because this is only buy side liquidity, and also from this high, this is very sketchy high. If we move into it and then slow move down. So if we come back there, then I think we will take out that high as well. But for now, it can either bottoms out here and we get like some sideways, and then I'm interested, or it could go for also a model 1. But yeah, then it needs to be super clean. So either that, or I'm just gonna wait for the main range, which is this low and then this high, and watch it from there. Guys, give me some love and push the like. Yeah, if you appreciate it, definitely push the like button. It gives the algorithm a little bit of a boost. Normally, yeah, I'm a bad in hyping things up. It's not really my nature, but it definitely helps. So appreciate it. I've been adding to my price alerts on Bitunix as a bad up. It's working well. Ah, maybe that's better to trust instead of TradingView. Like, yeah, I have now 4 alerts missed. I'm sure I did not got them. Okay, so I'm remaining patient. Does anyone have questions? Like S&P, it's looking weak. It's looking heavy. There's also in the world so much stuff going on with like this in Iran, and it's looking really, really bad. Look at this. This looks horrible. Like in crypto, we are familiar with the BART, but this is like giving me BART vibes on a mega scale. Like the inversed rounded bottom, like rounded top to the max. And gold was also, what was gold? Yeah, gold is also like moving heavily down. Like the world is, it's not too good, but should not worry too much about it, because it doesn't help. But a weird world we live in lately. Could watch this local range on gold. Range low, range high. Overall, it's very bearish since we had that this distribution range 1, 2, 3. We were watching that in the Discord, and it took a while to reach its target, but damn, I did not expect it to that this was the distribution range before the drop much lower. Now on the high time frame, it's nearing the range lows. But overall, wild moves. Can you check oil? Yeah. Let me check oil, and then after oil, I will check SUI. I've not forgot it. Always with oil, I'm in the trouble with the tickers. VTE, crude oil, or then I get, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, let's put an alert here and a little alert there. When I'm behind my screen, I get all the alerts. But the moment I close my laptop, shit. The chart, like if people tell me that the markets are not manipulated as fuck, then I show them this chart. Like the accumulations and stuff before this started to pull off. It's crazy. You would almost think that people, that it was in the playbook all along. Wyckoff model 2, perfect return to zone, boom, higher. And then I remember internally there were also like a lot of models. It's crazy. But yeah, like on the 3-day, super aggressive move up, super high wick. Let's see. Yeah, it's still a shit chart. How do I get the better chart, guys? WTI oil futures, it looks like a weird crude oil. Crude oil futures. USO. USD. Yeah, okay, that's better. So this is the range high. This is the range high. Then we have these highs. Hey, is it not fascinating how with everything that's going on in the world, that literally this chart can tell you that it was coming in? It's like I can't wrap my head around that, how that's possible. It's crazy. Then this is our range high, so we are holding the range high, which is technically bullish. Then could say that this is your range high, this is your range low, range high, range low. Oh, tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, potentially into demand right here, mitigating it. Oh, it's a funny thing, it's a weekend again, or at least close to weekend. We know what happens during weekends. That's when they like to escalate things. We are in a model 2, it seems. Some supply right here. Basically supply failing, so then I like to flip price down. It's also breaking structure here from left to right. Bullish buzz. So I would say we are in a local model 2 accumulation, target range high, weekend approaching. So are we gonna get some escalations again? With some supply right here. But else I think this is going back to the range high locally. Range, yeah, definitely. It's flipping the POC right now, so you're a little bit higher. But this looks like a pretty clean 1, 2, 3, model 2 accumulation. Clean. Okay, then I will check SUI. Look, this is remains to look weak. Check Sui. I was confused that maybe there was a bigger range. Yeah, like this local range, you can also, because on a high time frame, it's it's trending up, so you could also watch it from this perspective. Like this is your main range, but often in the main range, price likes to form internal ranges. So you could basically see it like this: range high, range low, and then this is your internal range within the main range. Then you have some supply at the top of the range, and here I see some demand, the lower part. So this is your main range, this is your internal range. Yeah, that's pain. Remember, I was pre-planning this. That's why I only have a few charts, because otherwise I also lose attention. Okay, BTC looks to just roll over. Let's quickly look at. This also looks to roll over. So we have stocks looking like pure shit, with oil looking like it's going for range high. Could be a bloody weekend if we take all that into consideration. So yeah, what was on here? We basically deviated the range high with a super clean. Let me delete this. Would have been a almost 6R. Okay, so what we had: high, high, low, higher, high, and this is where market structure is so amazing. Low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. But you, oh shit, but you SFP your market structure high. So this is not a body candle close, but a swing failure. So that means that your market structure low is a targeted low. But the moment you come back to your targeted low, that means also that you have a breaker structure. So SFP in a market structure low is one of the best setups you can have. Like this is your bearish boss. Then price confirmed the breaker structure, came back for this supply, quite front ran it. Slightly front ran it, it seems. Yeah, it's slightly front ran it. Then here you had like 1, 2, 3. It's not an SFP, this is a trend line, where you basically did the replica of what you did here. So here you SFP your market structure high. If you look at yours, you have the breaker structure, so then you can watch for an internal redistribution or market structure confirmation. Basically high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, sweep of your high, which means that your low is a targeted low. Break your low, and you have your breaker structure. So the moment you broke it here, it's your confirmation that you could short it there. And then, like this is all sell side liquidity, basically from the start here till there. Could target that demand. This was like super clean setup, which would be running right now. This is a high time frame, but you probably asking for the lower time frame. So we have low, lower high, lower low. This could be the lower high for the lower low. Let's see. This is marked such a high. What the price leaves behind. Some demand right here. Did it tap into something? No. Was there a clean accumulation at the lows? Not really. You have a really, really low time frame. Model 1. Look, here was some supply before it broke down. So it's probably where price, this block, probably price search for that liquidity. And then here you have that gap. So probably wiped into there to search for liquidity and then sell off. I don't see a fresh setup here. This is more like it's liquidity here, but also now liquidity here. So it depends on what time frame you want to short it, but I personally don't see a short on it right now. Good watches from range low, range high. This is your new range. But yeah, not super clean here anymore. Super clean short was right here on that range high retest. Now it's probably on its way lower. Let's see, ETH, Sol doing both not much. BTC holding around here, but locally supply is still in control. So you see that price is moving down, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So main structure is bearish, and you see also that price creates supply while moving down. So here you have basically supply test. Here you create supply test. Here you create supply, which was just front run. And then here you also create supply where you create your lower high each time. So this is basically your supply chain, which shows that locally supply is in control. So then you want super clean shifting structure, so back to bullish, or super clean demand creators. Preferably you see then, like here you have 1 minute breaker structure, but it's not in relationship to this more important structure right here. So then what you would like to see is like aggressive move up, breaking above, while creating demand lower. And then you can watch, is supply failing and is demand taking control? For example, tap into demand, break structure, and then create demand again. Then you can look for longs, but for now it looks like sellers are in control. So I'm remaining very cautious with longs. I will keep an eye on it, but often on Friday it's later in the session when I'm thinking like it's time for me to enjoy weekend. And then later in the evening you get some wild action when the traditional markets close. So would also be the case, but overall I think the idea that this is our new range, range low, range high, that has a high likelihood to play out. So then the high probability setups will occur here and there, basically the new range. So no need to hurry anything. You see, if you wait, then yeah, this was clean setup. It was clean setup, but hard to trade. And then they eventually will come again. For the people that are now watching, make sure to join the Discord. Amazing analysis also by Fuji. Good to see you back again. And yeah, a lot of updates through today. Amazing community. I love how everyone is being active, sharing analysis, helping each other. It's truly amazing. So make sure to join that. And if not, also fine. But thank you for tuning in, Fuji. Have a good weekend already. And I'm also gonna close it off because I don't think there will be a setup right away, but maybe it forms soonish. So if there are no questions, always feel free to ask questions. But if they are not any questions anymore, then I'm gonna close it off as well. Okay, so then I think it's time to close it off. Thanks everyone for tuning in again. Been a very good week. Bit slow start, but eventually closed it right with some good trades. Then I think next week will be very good as well. Because this week, basically Monday into the FOMC Wednesday was a bit always harder to trade price action. But next week, I think it will be better. We have to see how the weekend goes. I watching the S&P and oil, I think we could maybe see a wild weekend with maybe some escalations in the world. But we have to see. For now, I'm not touching the long here. Probably gonna wait. So thanks everyone for this week, and wishing you all a very good weekend. And then I speak to you guys in the Discord as always. So thanks for watching, and happy weekend everyone.